Hello, everybody. Welcome to this podcast. In this podcast, we're going to talk about the butterfly effect. And I don't think it's going to be ultimate because it's just for testing purpose. I'm just going to talk about it a little bit. I'm going to share my thought and some of my own theory. And I hope if I do some mistakes, sorry for that. But let's talk about the topic, which is the butterfly effect. And what I think about it, the butterfly effect is very important to every single person. And in a simple term, if I say what means butterfly effect, it's like a cause, you know, like everything happened for a reason. I'm talking because I'm going to upload video. So you see, everything happening for a reason, and everything, whatever we are doing for a reason. Everything happening for a reason. So if there is a butterfly, the reason they make the name butterfly effect is because if the butterfly flew or whatever the change, they make the change, it can, I mean, because of that, it can change everything. So, for example, now think maybe the butterfly move a little bit, somewhere, and then there is a frog who eat the butterfly. So, because the frog ate the butterfly, and now the frog maybe somewhere like his time change and somewhere he go, and then there is like a snake eat the frog too. Okay, and then the snake, because the snake came because of the snake come to the frog, and because the snake come and then to the house to eat the frog, and like the snake somehow kill someone, bite someone, and which is very, very important person, maybe like anyone which is very important. So the snake bite the person, and maybe the person is very influential, maybe hanging over, and some accidentally, maybe the person passed away, and maybe the person was the president. Who knows? Like anything possible. So just think for now, like it's just a coincidence. Maybe the president passed away, and now the world changed. And because the world changed, we affecting everybody. And now let's think, if the same butterfly didn't flew that place, maybe the butterfly was flying to the left, and instead of left, if the butterfly go to the right side, maybe the frog didn't eat that, and then maybe the frog, maybe he changed his mind. The frog go to the other side, and the snake maybe go to the other side too. Okay, maybe the snake bite. I mean, the snake eat the frog at a different place, not that place, or maybe whatever, anything. So, and maybe the snake didn't come to the room, to the president room. So everything changed, and because of the change, you see, everything, the big thing, the president die and every stuff like this, and because of the president die, you disconnect with someone, you stop talking with someone, maybe you had an argument, because you stop talking with your favorite person, whatever, and then you didn't marry that person, whatever, anything, a little cause, because of that butterfly effect, because of that, it changed your life too somehow in by the time, you know so, and because you stop having a relationship with that person, maybe your life go to the different track, and you have some new person or whatever. And maybe you passed away, maybe you have some, anything possible, so maybe, and because of that choose, a tiny choose, the butterfly made, and then it affect to the whole world. I'm just giving you some example, but maybe it's not gonna happen this way. Maybe it's not gonna happen in that short term. But what about think about the long term? Anything, whatever happening, even a tiny atomic movement. Even you think about a tiny atomic movement. So you think it's not make sense, but everything connecting to everything, and everything is the reason for everything. Everything is depending with its previous state of frame, because whatever happened right now is because of whatever happened 1 second ago. So what 1 second ago depends on 1 second later, you know so every single frame is the reason whatever happening. I think this is the definition I already met about the butterfly effect. I think you know exactly what I'm trying to say about the butterfly effect, right? So now let's discover the butterfly effect. Some of you may think like, yeah, this is just the theory, and then this is okay, all right. So that's the thing. That's the case. So what's the big deal here? I mean, why I have to be so surprised about that? Okay, and I do think about it, that even though it's a very tiny, and even though it looks like just an average or whatever you say, like this is just a theory, a normal theory. There's other theories better than that, but I think the butterfly effect theory, or it's just the theory is the secret. There is a secret inside the theory, the secret of the universe and everything. This is the root. This is the root. So you're very sensitive, and if you try to research about it, you may find a many mysterious mysterious thing. So very important. That's why I'm here to talking about it, to discuss more about it, more a better way to describe a different point of view about that theory. Okay, so now let's deep dive a little more about the butterfly effect. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about the atomic movement of the butterfly effect. So imagine whatever you are doing. Okay, maybe you're blinking your eye. And if you go back to the frame, each frame, a very tiny frame, and then you go back while you blink your eyes, you go back and you see the reason was maybe there is air movement, okay? And because of that, you blink your eyes, okay? So why these air movement happen? The air movement happened because of the other state of whatever happened to that area. So that the air was depend on its own previous state. So it has the reference, whatever, maybe the air, maybe whatever, but the reference it has a reference. So everything has a reference. The air movement, the molecule movement, I'm talking about it. So each movement has a reference because it happened. What happened before it? What happened? What happened before that movement? And you found a reference. Maybe that happened. Think about like maybe this is happened before that happened. So what happened for? Everything. You see, everything is like a chain. So that change is goes to the first thing happen, which is the theory of the Big Bang. Okay, so the Big Bang was the first thing happened, um, the first move of the universe. Like there was nothing, and there was like suddenly something, and then there was a very compressed, and suddenly it's blast away, and then it's still blasting. So the Big Bang is still happening. So this is the theory, but I will say if you go back, you'll see the first reason was the first state of the life. I mean, whatever happened, like what happened, we don't know why Big Bang happened, but whatever happened, the first state was the reason. You know, if you think about it, like state was the reason of everything. Okay, now think in a different way. Think about it, like first state, second frame, third frame. So now imagine why second frame happened. The answer is simple. Second thing happened because of the first frame. If there was no frame, the reference I'm talking about it, if there is no frame, first frame, so why there is no would be the second frame, because the second frame must need a reference of first, because if there is like no reference, the second is the first one then. So whatever, if there is a second, it must has a reference. Okay, so we know there is nothing where we all are having a reference, and because of that we do have a one single reference, which is the first frame, which is we don't know why the Big Bang happened, but the Big Bang, the first frame was the first thing, and the reference of everything. Okay, so now we know that everything has a reference. So let's talk about some paradox, which is very complicated paradox, fourth dimension paradox. So we all know the fourth dimension is quite hard, and we can't even comprehend about it, because our third dimension cannot process the fourth dimension. Even though if you imagine something, your brain can only imagine in 3D, or actually not 3D, but your brain monitor it in 2D, but you can imagine only 3D, three dimension. But 4D is not possible to imagine. So this is just I mean, we're not gonna bring here the thing, but why I'm talking about the 4D is because the fourth dimension has some of the points, which is there is a, like, the butterfly effect, and I mean it's kind of like connected, law of attraction, and then fourth dimension. So some sort of theory said the fourth dimension has already predefined, uh, like the future is already exist the future already exists now, and you are choosing your future. Like, it's like there is a infinite future possibility. So like the frames and everything already existing in fourth dimension, and you're choosing through the way you choose. You're choosing through infinite possibility. So what I mean by that, some theory said that, like, if you may have a time, you spend the time in your lifetime, maybe when you're in before you enter the university. So you you may had a time to choose that what you want to be. So the time, maybe your parents say, yeah, what do you want to be, and you choose something, maybe an engineer. So if you choose a doctor, you're gonna learn doctor. So your future will be, now you're a doctor. If you choose something else, whatever you choose, according to that, you will be that person right now. So you see, you are becoming now whatever you are right now because you choose 4 years ago or whatever years ago. And if you choose that, and then because you're that, but like you see, if you choose each of it and you become based on what you choose, so in fourth dimension, all the thing possibly already exist. Like, you're a doctor, you're an engineer, you're whatever, and you already like in frame, like the time is freeze, like a time, space is like a time, I mean like a time dimension, 4D. So if everything is static, like all the infinite possibility exists in like a, like, how can I say it? Fourth dimension is something like static. There is nothing moving like a video. Think about it like a video, nothing's moving, everything possibility already existing, and then in 3D you're choosing your path. Okay, but my question is, if the fourth dimension, I mean, some of, like, not all the theory, but if that theory is true, that our future predefined, like in infinite possibility, and we're choosing through, I mean, like the path, then if that is true, then the Big Bang never happened. So why? Because if that happening, that means everything static, Big Bang happening, or Big Bang happen and never happen at the same time, right? So it's very complicated. The world is so complicated. Probably, maybe there is a chance the world is in quantum uh, phrase, in a quantum state, that the Big Bang happening and the Big Bang happen, everything, and already it's happening is like a video. The video is playing. Think about it, and but the video. The future frame and video, all the frames already existing. So this is the fourth dimension, and we're gonna talk about, we can't go to the past. So some of the, I mean, some fantasy lover, I mean, they think that maybe if there is if everything possible, then maybe in the future we can go to the past, like we can go to the future, right? So, but it's like the simple answer will be, going to the past is not possible, because you see, I mean, maybe it's possible in a different way, but from our perspective, it's just not possible. Because, and now you will understand, you can, link with the butterfly effect, and we can go to the to the past and first dimension. You see, everything is like linked. Now I'm gonna explain you. So what happened, imagine if the first dimension has like static, nothing moving, everything like freeze, the time is freeze in fourth dimension with infinite possibilities, all the frames exist, right? Think about it. Now imagine that, I told you before, every particle has its own reference, which is its past reference. So imagine all the videos you see, maybe the movie you watch. So every second has a reference, right? So imagine you change a reference. So you change, for example, if like a 10 frame, if there is a 10 frame, you change to the number 6, let's say. You change to the number 6. So if you change it, so, and you, the number 6 go to, the number 6, go to a different world, maybe. The number 6 could maybe go to visit a different place, maybe think about 12, let's say 12. So if the number 6 go to the 12, above 12, it cannot fit the atom. I'm talking about everything. Imagine, you cannot change, I mean, you cannot go to the past. I mean, this is just not possible, because the frame is depending each frame, right? So if you say we go to the 12, that means, let's say, the 12 even not going to exist, that case, because the 7, number 7 was the reason of number 6. So we're going to future, or you're going to the past. So you see, everything like missing. So let's say the number 6 is going to meet number 3. Okay, go back to the past. So we're going. So then what happened? The number 6 or 7, or maybe 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and everything will be, it can't work. It can't work. It will gonna, just not, it's gonna be a big error. So the 3, it go to the 3, and then suddenly 1, 2, 3, and then 6 and 5, you know, 4, 5. Think about the frame. So the 4, 5, another thing and everything will be totally, you know, it's not gonna be processed. So each frame is has a reference. So you cannot change the reference because otherwise everything will be, there's gonna be a big error for that. So that's what I'm saying. So we cannot go to the past. And the next chapter, we're going to think about what means willingness and do we actually have the willingness or not, right? So do we actually choose something or it's predefined? We're not choosing, but everything is working the way it's worked. Choosing paradox is like you're choosing something because let's say I'm gonna drink water. Because of that, because I choose that, I'm gonna drink water because if you go back to the reference, a very tiny reference, you see, I was thinking about that. Why am I thinking about that? Because my body lack of water. Why it's that? Because because, right? Many because. So now each frame is representing the reason I drink water. You see? So every single frame is not I'm not like choosing, I'm not choosing, but I'm choosing, I'm choosing because all the reference I had in the past. So let's say I think about that, I'm not gonna choose. It's also the reference which indicate that you're not gonna choose. Because you are not gonna choose, you think, or whatever you do, is because the reference you had in the past. Because all the thing happen in the universe is because you didn't choose or you choose, whatever you do. That's what I'm saying. We do not have a willingness, and simultaneously we do have a willingness because you can think. You see, you can think. Yeah, I can choose drink water. So it's like dynamic and static at the same time. And a quantum. The world is so interesting. It's all the time. I mean, more I think about that quantum state, the more I was surprised because most of the thing I found like most of the thing I'm not sure of everything, but most of the thing I found acting like quantum. So both simultaneously. I'm choosing, I'm not choosing simultaneously. I'm choosing and I'm not choosing at the same time. And that's really ridiculous, but that makes sense to the universe. You see, first I said fourth dimension is representing we don't know, maybe the future exists and it's not exist at the same time, right? So very complicated. We cannot comprehend about it. Especially I don't know actually that what's going on. This is my own personal preference. Maybe if you do have a different view on that, you can just make a video on yourself. This is my perspective that I'm talking about the butterfly effect. So the butterfly effect. Now I'm going to say the main interesting part of the butterfly effect, which is each of the thing, the main problem we do have. I mean, you can use the butterfly effect to get rid of your sadness, whatever. If you blame someone, if you think that someone is get rude to you, if you think someone is getting angry or you are getting angry, is because of whatever happened, because of the thing overall happened in the past. Nothing is random, and everything is random at the same time. So this is the quantum state. We do think, yeah, everything is random because we don't know why it's happening, why. So it's random. You can say in a different point of view, but at the same time, it's not random. Okay, if someone mad at me, it's not random. It's because all the reference in the past, all the thing since the Big Bang or whatever happened, the reason why the Big Bang happened, we don't know. So that was the first reason or the reference of all the thing happened to until the universe, and because the person is behaving to you right now. So we shouldn't feel so angry about that, but it's I'm not saying you shouldn't, take care about that. You should make something like protect yourself. Like, yeah, someone shouting at me, if it's not good for me, I should protect. But you cannot blame to that person, or you cannot blame to anything, or you cannot be sad that, oh my god, that person is behaving like this. Oh my god, I'm so sad. Don't think, but you can protect, but you shouldn't feel regret about it. Whatever happened is gonna happen. Whatever is happening is because it's happened. It's no logic. Whatever is happening is gonna be happen. It's about to be happen. And this is like static. Even though it's dynamic, we are choosing, but we're not choosing at the same time. So please don't blame about yourself, don't blame about the life. Even though if you think about that, yeah, I murder someone, don't. It's not about, I'm saying, like, do not blame about yourself, but this is shame on you that you shouldn't do that. This is dynamic. Say it again. This is dynamic, our willing, and this is absolute. I mean, it's not our willing at the same time. So the world is in quantum state. That's the thing. The world is the quantum state. So please, um, uh, just be more curious about that theory, butterfly effect. So it may, if you focus about that, you'll be surprised more. I promise. So that's for this podcast. I hope you like it. And if you think something that you think different way, you can put the comment. So the thing that you think your way, you think that I'm wrong or whatever. So just comment about that, or you can just text me that what topic you want to listen next video. So that's all for this short podcast. That's I tried to explain you some of the butterfly effect. I do imagine. I mean, the thing I can have the idea. So that's it. Have a great day, guys. See you to the next podcast.